Welcome to the Mentor Podcast, where the most highly motivated entrepreneurs come to get their weekly dose of financial stability with host Ron LeGrand, as well as other nationally recognized thought leaders who will teach you how to get, grow, and protect your wealth.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Ron LeGrand with another issue of the Mentor Podcast, dedicated to help you making more money, keeping more of it, make it faster. And I have a very special guest with me today. Her name is Jennifer Shedlin, and she happens to be the COO of Global Publishing. So I thought I'd get her on here today. And how are you, Miss Jennifer?
I'm pretty good. It's been a pretty busy week.
Oh, it has. I see we're sitting here in a building. There's 4 of us in this big building right now. Literally everybody is working from home, and we just came here to do a few things today, and I've done a lot of filming today. And so we heard there's a virus out there, so we're doing what we have to cope with it. In fact, it's one of the reasons for this podcast. We need to start addressing that. And Jennifer's going to tell you what's going on inside of Global and what we are planning going forward. And we got a really, really cool deal for you today on some training we're about to deliver because we can't go out into the field. We're in the event business, and we can't do events, but we can online. So I'll come back to that. Jennifer, you've had some tough decisions to make this past week. I think it would be good for our listeners to actually hear what you have been going through and the decisions that we've had to make. And you know what? It kind of relates to 2008, doesn't it?
It does. It's very indicative of 2008. So I've been here with Ron for a little over, my son will be almost 16 years. So when we started seeing this fluid event happen, and it went from we're going to have to change the dates of our summit to ultimately canceling it, I thought, we need to make some decisions and make them very quick. So your ability to be successful is your ability to make fast decisions when dealing with challenging times. Obviously, this is unprecedented times for what we're all going through, and we're all going through it together. So I decided very quickly that I could either retreat and kind of quarantine myself, or we can use this as an opportunity to try and think outside of the box, continue to service our students, provide education. So this is a time where we all stepped up as a staff. You know, we didn't retreat. We're not going to take pause because of fear. So we decided to quickly determine, number one, how are we still going to provide and deliver training to our students, which you'll hear more about later. The other thing is being a part of a big operation, you immediately think about cash flow and revenue and your staff. That is what keeps me up at night. This company sustains a lot of lives. So I had to make some really, really tough decisions. I went to Ron, and we had to let go, unfortunately, of some non-essential staff, because we had to quickly budget for the future, in addition to making sure that we continue to prosper as a company. Yeah,
it would be fair to say that non-essential staff was about 25% of the total.
It was, and when I say non-essential, I don't mean that they weren't critical or important to us, and we don't not care about them. We just had to make some tough decisions based on the needs of the business. That doesn't go to say that when we get through this crisis, I'd love to have each and every one of them back with us. So the other thing we had to immediately determine I had to determine with employees what was going to mitigate our risk. So, of course, I established a remote work home option for most of my team, and I had to quickly implement a policy. And anybody who's ever written policies can understand how daunting that is. So most of our staff, if not all of them, are working from home. There are a few things that can't be done from home, but this is a great exercise to see how efficient we are. So I created a policy for that, quickly communicated that to my leadership team, and made sure that they're clear on what their processes are. So far, we're 2 days in, and it seems to be working really great. So I'm really happy with that. The other thought was, okay, so we need to make sure I take care of the staff. So the most important thing is we communicate and be transparent with our students. everyone's facing this crisis together, so transparency is key. And what I have found, Ron, is most of our customers and students have really empathized with our situation as they're in the same. So I thought, well, we need to create some new programs. And then, so since they can't come to us for training, our entire team, management, executive, Ron, we got together and we said, okay, well, we're going to bring the training to them. So that's one of our new verticals we are getting ready to launch is virtual training. One of them will start with the summit. So we're going to bring you key components that we had planned for the Las Vegas summit all the way down to doing a virtual deal room for you guys.
Yeah.
So really, really excited about that.
But the thing is, nobody's ever been through this before, and nobody really knows what to do. So fear runs rampant in the marketplace. People are, of course, laid off of their jobs pretty much no matter what they were, unless they're in the health field. And I just happened to have an appointment in the hospital the other day with my chiropractor, and I thought it was the Nazis out there screening me before I walked in. I mean, I went through 2 or 3 different lines and so forth. So, the country is preparing, but question is, how do you get prepared? How is it going to affect you? How's it already affected you? And what are we going to do about it? And I want to make a few comments on that here today. Now, we are going to have a call on this on Monday night. Guys, if you're listening to this and you're getting this before we actually have this call, that's on Monday, March the 30th. So 7 p.m., write down this number, 701-801-1211. That's 701-801-1211. And the code is 104-946-624. That's 104-946-624. And that's a free conference call, and it's going to be all about how to get through this, how to make sure a recession won't destroy your health or your wealth, because we are in a recession, and it's not going to be like 2008. By the way, I don't know. Nobody knows the answer to that, but I think it's going to pass, and I think it's going to pass rather quickly. 2008 did not pass, and it did not pass quickly, and the effects of it are still going. It changed everything, and it changed the way people look at money for probably forever. And it had a lasting impact on this economy and destroyed values and people's houses and their wealth and all kinds of nasty stuff. But there's no way it is not going to have an effect on our economy, because it most certainly is. People are out of work and they're slowing down their buying habits and so forth. But I got to believe that this is very short-lived. I just believe that. I believe we're going to come out of this thing quickly. And then I believe, I am thinking that once it passed, we're going to have a skyrocketing economy. I think the pent-up demand is going to come from people. I think they're going to want to get out and about and get back to work and get to events and get their life back. And, there's always a bunch of positives with negatives. I think this is a mindset correction for a lot of people, especially the millennials who think everything is given to them and they're worthy and, they deserve everything and they don't have to work for it and all of that. For those who think that way, this is going to change some attitudes about what can happen and, how bad things can get. We're never going to get to the point to where my dad did when he stood in line for food back in the 30s. But people are going to come to the conclusion that, hey, the government is not going to take care of it necessarily. The government is not going to put food on our table immediately. And this stuff about sending us checks, I mean, come on. I don't know about you, Jennifer, but $1,000 check won't feed my dog for more than a couple 3 weeks. And I don't think I'm going to get one anyway. Yeah, so if God bless them, they're trying.
I know, and if anything, it's made me reflect upon how I'm going to use this downtime and take advantage of it. And for me, that would be with regard to our company and how can we create and implement new opportunities instead of being driven by fear. So if in my personal world, I would imagine people would use this downtime as an advantage to see if they ever should be in this position again. They don't want to be scared from losing their job, because they should go out and create something for themselves. that's not dictated by an hourly or a paycheck, an hourly rate or a paycheck. So it's a time to build new skills and learn what they can do in the future to prevent them from having to worry about financial issues and feeling that they have no hope for the future, which very much is out there, Ron. It's very, very sad. So, so what we would like to do is try to create some opportunities, tell you what can be done so no one finds themselves. I mean, some people are only one paycheck away from disaster, and it's horrible to see that, and it doesn't have to be that way out there.
That's correct.
So that's what we've been working on, and on
Monday night, I'm going to talk about what can we do, because I got to tell you, nothing more important to you right now than cash flow. I get that if you're cash strapped. So that's the first thing. And then, of course, what do we do on these debts that we can't pay right now? And, I'm going to address that right now, folks. If you got debts that you can't pay right now, all of your creditors are willing to work with you. I mean, none of them are not going to work with you in this environment right now. So it's to me, it's a matter of communication more than anything else. What they hate most is when they're just totally ignored. But now's the time to work out deals with them. And I really don't care what kind of debt it is. This is the time to actually take a look at both the income and the outgo and work on both of them simultaneously, and then work on making sure that this doesn't happen to you again by getting residual income coming into your life, which can easily be done with real estate. And maybe this will cause you to focus on it and actually get something done about it. So there's always going to be a positive. So I see a lot of positive. By the way, I remember back in 2008 when the market dropped about 40%. In our area and a lot of other areas, the smartest people I know were buying like a bat out of hell. I mean, they were just buying everything they can get their hands on because the values dropped. So I believe in these times we're in right now, our best opportunity is to get out there and crank it up, not slow it down, not use it for an excuse. And I believe that there's a whole lot more sellers that are willing to talk to you right now because they're at home. They got nothing else to do. They're easier to get on the phone. They still need to sell their houses, and there's a whole lot more buyers. Think about it. Banks are pretty much shut down. They're probably not even taking loan applications. If they are, they're sitting on their desk. So there's a whole society of folks out here who would love to get into houses that they don't have to qualify for right now, even if they can qualify. So I'm never going to say it's business as usual, but it's certainly a time to do more business, not less business. Jennifer, let's tell everybody what we got in store for them. Yeah.
Oh, what we have in store for them is what we have coming up is a summit, like I mentioned, a live stream. So basically, we want to make sure that for our students that, this is not a time to be distracted by fear or, get into binge watching Netflix. This is the time to skill up and learn and progress. So when this virus, we've seen the last of it, then you're prepared to take action, and you can even do so now from some of the things in the training that we're going to be providing to you. The common message amongst all